I respect your position. I'm not even saying you're wrong. But with all due respect, when it comes to this issue, I think you need to grow up. And I'm going to tell you why. The issue is not how wrong the NFL is. You and I could be on the air, and let me tell you something right now. We were sitting there before the cameras like we are right now, and the position was trying to convince the NFL to see the error of its ways and change the policy. I'd shut up and let you speak. Got no problems with your position at all. What I'm asking you to understand is that the NFL has it as a part of its policy, whether you like it or not. So now the issue is you're trying to tell me that you are a player in the National Football League or the NBA, if that was such the case with the NBA, and they was as strident about it as the NFL is, and you come from an impoverished background. You scratch and claw your way up to the top of the sports world, meaning being in the #1 league in sports and what have you, and you throw it all away because you can't stop smoking some weed, you got a problem. That's not Calvin Johnson. Now, Calvin Johnson's different because, as I've said repeatedly, I have no issue with medicinal purposes, with marijuana being used for medicinal purposes. I'll take a step further and get very, very personal. When my mom was battling cancer, one of the biggest regrets that I had is that I didn't work diligently to explore the use of marijuana for medicinal purposes even more. She said, no, I'm not interested, under no circumstances, blah, blah, blah. And at that particular moment in time, anything that could save her and keep her here with me, I was down for, all right? She didn't want to do it. My sisters and I both knew she didn't want to do it. She was God-fearing woman, went to church religiously, said she's like, if this is how I got to go, this is how I got to go. And that was her choice. But what I'm saying is I was open to it. I have never been an adversary of marijuana use for medicinal purposes. What I'm talking about is recreationally. The likes of a David Irvin, for example, who played for the Dallas Cowboys for 4 years. You 25 years old and you like, I'd rather retire because I want to smoke this blunt looking like a damn fool.
You got issues.
That's what I'm talking about here. And what I'm saying to you is this. I can argue, I would march lockstep with you if we're talking about how wrong the NFL is to have this policy. Right. I have no disagreement, zero. What my problem is that until the rule is changed, you telling me you're going to let it cost you 6 figures, 7 figures? There are guys in the pros that have allowed it to cost them their careers. And to me, it's like, wait a minute here. You don't have the discipline to overcome that, and that's the deal.
I'd never argue that someone who would give up their career in their mid-20s because they're that addicted to something.
I never said you did, though.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm not accusing you of that.
Oftentimes, the issue is because medically speaking, it's not addictive, though psychologically and emotionally, of course, particularly if someone's in pain and they're self-medicating, any kind of substance.
Now, I've seen guys that were addicted, and then I've seen guys that were not.
Oftentimes, what I find when you look into it is what they're really addicted to, if they're smoking blunts, for example, is the massive nicotine dose you get in cigar paper, which is, by the way, completely legal. But that's neither here nor there. Look, I'm not arguing about people who have substance abuse issues, whatever substance that is. They're gambling addicts. Gambling is legal in different places, and they become addicted. It's a chemical dependency. If you study their brain, it's similar to cocaine or some kind of drug like that. Those are outliers, and I would never say that that's fine. What I'm saying is, and let's take it off of leisure drugs. I've made my feelings very clear on that, what they do in their leisure time if they use it recreationally. And let's stick to pain management now. Now I'll go to pain management, because I have no problem with them doing it in their leisure time. And the question is, how do I feel about it?
Pain management, I have no problem. Leisure, I do.
The question is, how do I feel about it? And I feel the NFL is being hypocritical. But, okay. In terms of pain management, an NFL game, players afterwards, and you and I have known personally, have had good friends and covered this, lots of NFL players. It's like being in a car collision. You know, you say, Marcellus Wiley used to tell me, he would get, like, you talk about Sunday, Monday or Tuesday trying to get out of bed. You have to keep a bottle because you can't make it to the bathroom. Just, you can't get out of bed for like 24 hours. It's like someone in that physical state, right, is going to do what they have to do to make the pain go away.
Time out. I have to pause you right there. Fair enough. But you took it a step further by bringing in the leisure point. And all I'm trying to say to you in the offseason, this notion that how you conduct yourself, how you behave, and how you carry yourself when the games are not being played has no impact on potentially your performance once it comes time to play. I think it's foolhardy.
Calvin Johnson's original point
I'm not talking about him, no.
Right,
you know that.
is not only that it was good medicinally for him, it's also, but the other options that they're peddling out to these guys, opioid, oxy, like it's messing guys up. And you said that players need to mature. Perhaps the NFL needs to evolve their policy, whether it's leisure or not,
let me say
just to protect their players in a more healthy way.
But let me say this. I appreciate that point, but I didn't question their maturity. Let me be very, very clear about what I'm trying to say. To me, the most profound argument in support of marijuana use is the hypocrisy that Calvin Johnson highlighted about the NFL.
Yes, that was a great point.
I'm not disagreeing with him. Remember, we went to a broader spectrum. We went to a broader spectrum. We wouldn't talk about Calvin Johnson because he made it clear it was for medicinal purposes. No argument there. What I'm saying, and the hypocrisy on the part of the NFL is definitely egregious and needs to be addressed, particularly when you highlight what they allow you to take and what they outlaw. Fair enough. What I'm saying is, I'm talking about cats that, whether it's Twitter trolls, whether it's people that call up to the radio show, whether it's people that you run into in the arenas, and they're literally, apoplectic because you are against recreational use. And I'm going like this, wait a minute. We all have rules and regulations that we have to capitulate to that we don't necessarily think is right or fair.
Well, you said earlier that I need to grow up about this, but I disagree. I think you're being reactionary about it.
Okay. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.